Welcome back. So our guest for tonight is Professor Bernard Frimpong Boateng. Before we talk to him, here's a quick profile of the man.
In 1985, Professor Bernard Frimpong Boateng became the first black person to perform a heart transplant, achieving the feat in Germany. At the time, he was recognized worldwide for his historic accomplishment. In November 1988, he again made history by performing the first heart-lung transplantation in Hanover. Professor Frimpong Boateng returned to Ghana in 1989 to establish the National Cardiothoracic Center at the Ghana Heart Foundation. He is a founding director of the National Cardiothoracic Center and currently serves as the president of the Ghana Heart Foundation. He joined the University of Ghana Medical School in 2000, where he was promoted to Associate Professor of Surgery the same year and attained full rank of professor in 2002. Widely regarded as the father of open heart surgery in Ghana, Professor Frimpong Boateng has trained several cardiothoracic surgeons for Ghana and other African countries. His passion for humanitarian service led him to establish the Frimpong Boateng Medical Center in Tuase, Ashanti region in 2001 to provide healthcare for residents in the area. Together with his partners, Mr. Kwesi Osei-Ofori and Mr. James Osei-Brown, he also established the Providence Specialist Hospital in Achimota to provide specialist medical care. Professor Frimpong Boateng graduated from the University of Ghana Medical School in 1975 with MB CHB degrees. After completing his housemanship at Kolebu Teaching Hospital, he served as a medical officer at Komfo Anokye Teaching Hospital, where he was also a demonstrator in gross anatomy at the School of Medical Sciences from 1977 to 1978. In 2007, Professor Frimpong Boateng was also one of the 17 candidates who contested for the flag bearership of the NPP. In 2017, he was appointed Minister for Environment, Science and Technology under President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo.
So, heart surgeon, politician, educationist, what else can you call him? Farmer, a man of many paths. Prof, thanks for joining us. Good evening.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to be here with you.
Wow. What are you doing these days?
Yeah, these days, the usual things, farming, education, building institutions, establishing linkages between some Ghanaian institutions and German institutions, and many other things. Yeah.
Do you still practice medicine?
Yes, I do.
As a specialist?
Yes,
and
operate from time to time.
You get invited to do surgeries? Because yes. your practice, you're a heart surgeon.
I get to do surgery, some special cases, in a private hospital established by some friends of mine and me.
So, do doctors ever retire?
No, you are not supposed to retire. You have to keep going, and so long as God gives you strength and breath, you have to keep on going.
I see. So, even though you are no longer a young man, you can still oversee a full surgery.
Oh, yeah.
Manage a team, put everything together, talk them through the process.
Let me tell you something. Last time I was somewhere and we had an operation which was complex, and I stood on my legs for 12 hours.
Recently?
Yeah.
You stood on your legs for 12 hours?
12 hours.
Is that how long?
No, it was not supposed to be that long, but we had some issues along the way, so we had to do many things, and that's why.
And he made it?
Yes.
Usually in a surgery team, there's a leader, right? Because when we watch the movies, we notice somebody's talking to other people. I haven't seen a real life heart surgery before, but usually there's somebody who's like the lead surgeon who will be telling them, do this, bring this, and then they'll be... How does it work?
Oh, it's not... the lead surgeon is there, but he has 2 or 3 surgeons assisting him. Then you have the anesthetist putting the patient to sleep, making sure everything works well. Then you have the person running the heart-lung machine. That's the machine that takes over the functions of the heart and the lungs.
Whilst the surgery is going on.
Whilst you have stopped the heart and surgery is going on. Then you have the nurse, the instrument nurse, and the circulating nurses who help her bring things when she needs them, and so on. And then after that, you have the intensive care nurses and the intensive care doctors. So it's quite a big team. So the surgeon is the lead, but all the others are very important.
I think you came to do this thing in Ghana in 1986, is that correct?
No.
What year was it? When did you come back?
I came back in December 88, so we started in 89. And
so that's like 37 years ago.
yes, but we started the real surgery 35 years ago. Because the first 2 years were for preparations and so on, setting up the place.
How much has our capacity to do heart surgery grown if you compare 1989 to 2026?
Well, it has not grown that much because there has not been the adequate investment in equipment and also training. Training is very, very important. We have to train people all the time for the next generations. But that has been lacking. But having said that, there are private hospitals in Ghana that do investigations, diagnostics, echocardiography, heart investigations. But there are only a few centers that are able to do the surgery. So I'm hoping that maybe some bold private people will get involved.
So it's a question of investment.
Investment.
And training.
And training especially.
But aren't there doctors training? And there specially, I think there's a college of physicians and surgeons. Yeah, is it that people are not interested in the heart specialty?
No, they are. But you see, we need equipment because things are growing very fast and developing very fast, and we need to be abreast with time. There are very motivated, intelligent people around, but then somebody must be there, lead and train and get the equipment there so that we can be abreast with the rest of the world. I mean, I don't like things like, oh, we are good in West Africa, we are good in Africa, south of the Sahara, and so on. No. If we are good, we should be at par with the rest of the world, and that is...
But at least you're able to do all types of heart surgery in Ghana, as you speak?
No, not all types.
Not all?
No.
Which types can't we do?
Well, I cannot sit here and say, for example, we cannot do transplant of the heart, the lungs, heart lung. We cannot do certain things in the heart. We do a lot of pediatric cases, but then some are sent outside for surgery. And this is because we need to train some more and equipment and human resource, and also expand the facility. The cardio center is too small, and I wish that the University of Ghana Medical Center is coming up, and I hope that one too will come up and absorb some of the pressures.
So of course, health is always your interest.
Yes.
So, by the way, it's in assessing the government, can you, in 1 year, are you able to point out to health and say, even in health, this guy is doing well or not? Or is it 1 year too early in a 4-year term to assess a government?
I don't attempt to assess any government because, first of all, there must be a plan.
Okay.
A plan that survives the present government and move into the future. And I've not seen this plan ever in the Fourth Republic.
What do you mean?
No, because first of all, in 1995, President Rawlings introduced Vision 2020. He introduced that in Parliament. But then he lost the elections. And that was the end of that Vision 2020. And when NPP won and came to power, Mustafa Mahfoud, who was the then finance minister, said as far as he was concerned, the Vision 2020 was dead. And he introduced the Vision 2015. And that too didn't provide anything. And so there have been visions and dreams and so on all along. But these are not, these things are like a party manifesto, wishful thinking, not backed by science, technology, and innovation. So I don't look at what is happening.
I don't understand. You are saying that since you started following the Fourth Republic, you haven't seen a plan.
I haven't seen a plan, a development plan, a plan that will outlive a government and become a national plan. Because see, as far as I'm concerned, if any plan that does not have any role for universities, for academic institutions, for research institutions, that thing cannot stand the test of time.
But I've seen medium-term development plans that, in fact, when you were in government, they were working under a framework. It was Ghana Shared Growth Development Framework, which was like a 6 or 7 year plan. NDC one had a similar plan. So there's always a document that even when they read the budget, it falls under, and it has a specific name. That is that not what a plan is?
No. So if you want to see a proper plan, just look at what the Chinese did in March 1986, when 4 weapons scientists wrote a letter to Deng Xiaoping that said China is concentrating on weapons, and we are spending all our technology on weapons. If we don't change our strategy, we will miss the technology revolution that will help us to create things. And so Deng Xiaoping said, that is good. And so this Chinese set up what we call the satellite program 863. And they spend money to set up research institutions, programs to research into biotechnology, space technology, information technology, laser, automation, energy, advanced material science, and the other telecommunications and marine technology in 1992 and 1996. So we see that in 2006, the Chinese doubled their efforts in alternative energy. At that time, they did not even have solar energy and wind energy. But then, soon, 5 years later, they were the #1 manufacturers of solar energy and wind energy. So you need to set up the research institutions and work with them. For example, there is a drug discovery unit in the University of Ghana. And if you assist this unit a little bit, they will come out with 1 or 2 drugs that can be used throughout the world. And that one thing alone will be able to sustain Ghana. But you see, we don't have any plan for education, for industry, for transportation, and so on. So I don't see it.
What do you mean? I interviewed Dr. Nimoy Thompson in November. We spoke about a development plan that was being put in place. He did over 1.5 hour presentation on where we see Ghana in the next half century. I thought that should be a plan.
It wasn't. To me, it wasn't a plan. I mean, Nimoy Thompson is a brilliant fellow. I like him, he's my friend. But if you say you are going to increase the road network from 78,000 kilometers to 250,000 in 20-something years, and you don't know where the money is come from, who is going to build the roads, and what is going to happen, then that's not a plan. It's maybe it's hard to say wishful thinking. It cannot succeed.
No, but have you seen the document? Because all he did was to give me highlights. It was like a presentation
I saw it.
Of highlights. It wasn't the full document.
I saw it, and I went back and got the transcript of your questions and his answers. Yeah.
And you don't think that we have a plan?
No.
You are serious?
I'm very serious.
What did he say in the interview that made you think that there was no planning? Because, of course, as I said, I was interviewing him on the highlights.
Yes, even the highlight. Yes. For example, if we say that in 2047, that is 21 years' time, Ghana will attain a status of high-income economy, industrialized, diversified, export-oriented, resilient economy. It cannot happen in 21 years with the plans that we are adoring, or we are talking about. 1995, President Rawlings said, look, when this Vision 2020 is over, Ghana will become a middle-income country and will have a status similar to Singapore. And then in 2011, we declared that Ghana was a middle-income country, and there was no mention of Singapore.
I mean, so let me tell you what we did. The president in October launched the NDPC Ghana Infrastructure Plan.
Yes.
Which was to incorporate the big push. The big push was sort of brought into that. The president, speaking at the launch, said, we inherited Nkrumah's dream, but we had to fulfill it. Nkrumah gave us a blueprint, and the Ghana Infrastructure Plan provides us with the tools while the big push would deliver the results. The GIP, which is the Ghana Infrastructure Plan, second since Ghana gained independence in 1957, will be the foundation of Ghana's long-term national development. It also aims to improve Ghana's energy infrastructure, transport infrastructure, water infrastructure, housing, and ICT, among others, by 2055. The launch marked a revival of the long-term infrastructure strategy initially developed in 2016 and revised in 2019, but shelved for years. President Mahama said the plan provides a strategic reset and renewed commitment to building a resilient and inclusive Ghana. How are you telling me it's not a plan? That's the plan.
No, look, you see, the thing is, if you tell me you are going to increase our power generation from 5,000 to 50,000 megawatts in 11 years, that is 900% increase. With what we have now, how can you convince anybody that this is going to be possible? From 5,000 megawatts to 50,000 megawatts in 11 years. What are you going to do? Where is the money come from? Who is going to do it? The Ghanaian engineers or what? Or who? So these are the questions that we have to ask ourselves. Yeah, you can say something, but whether it's reasonable and that can be achieved, we have to talk about these things.
Well, the Energy Ministry had announced, and I'm not answering for them, but they had announced that they're going to build some new plants, gas processing, to increase to decrease our dependence on the traditional gas from Nigeria. So they're going to make sure that what we got in the Western Enclave was converted to power. They spoke about the 10 and what they were going to do with it. I think the new Energy Minister has spoken about that. So are you just saying that 11 years is too short a time? Don't you think that you should maybe get the full document, read through it, and see if it makes sense before you dismiss it?
No, what I'm saying is, if you tell me that with what we have now, knowing the way we do things, we are going to increase power generation from 5,000 to 50,000 megawatts in 11 years.
Because VRA has said that they will boost power generation by 1,800 megawatts. So, for example, November 18, the Volta River Authority announced plans to expand its power generation capacity to up to 1,800 megawatts over the next 5 years, aiming to strengthen its role in Ghana's electric sector. Jabesh Misata said policy restrictions introduced. So basically, if you add 1,800 to the 5,000 or 6,000 we have, you are close to.
No, Jabesh Misata is a very.
Yeah. Then this is just November last year that they said this.
He's a specialist. He's a respected energy person. But what I'm saying is that if you give me the figures, and I don't see how these things are going to happen. We were talking about nuclear energy, and so far we have not even decided which technology we are going to get, who is going to build that thing for us. And nuclear technology takes years, 15, 20, 25 years before you get a thing done. And so far, we've been dancing around this thing for about 10 years now. And so, if we decide today that we are going to do the nuclear energy, it's going to take...
So let me get you straight. You're saying you don't see any indication that the government is running with a long-term plan that can transform the country.
This is what I'm saying. And if we do things without the involvement of the engineering people, Ghana Institute of Engineering, KNUST.
But how do you know they are not involved? They are. When I interviewed Doc last week or so, I think on the Constitution, he said even the very nature of the way the NDPC works, they do have access to various technical experts who work with them.
If you invite,
and they have technical heads. So beyond he did say that they have technical heads for the NDPC. In fact, it was an interview we had here last week. And these heads include professors, engineers, and all these people.
You see, we always talk about the beginning and then the end point. We are going to do this going to get 50,000. But this is a roadmap. And there must be milestones and when to achieve them. We need to get all these details. And if we look at the science and technology infrastructure that we have now, nothing convinces me that we can do this. Or we just want to accumulate money and then give them to Chinese or other people to come and do this thing for us. And we are not going to get involved in anything.
So when you were a minister, are you saying that government was not working with any plan? Because you were a minister for 4 years. So are you telling me that you were a minister for a government and was working without a plan? So what were you doing then as minister?
No. Listen, let me tell you what I did, or what we did. We knew that it is, and in fact, President Ronnie said it, that in I'll get a quote, what he said for you. He said, it's only science and technology that can help us transform our nation and also preserve the environment. Now, what we did was, we saw that the poverty gap was a technology gap. And therefore, my ministry, MESTI, and the Ghana Institute of Engineering, we organized a conference, the ABRI Pediatric Conference. And we got money from one of the few economists that I trust, Zakwan PNM. He organized funds from the MasterCard Foundation for us to have that conference in a brief 3-4 days. We were there, looking at ways to bridge the technology gap. We had participants from America, from Europe, from Canada, and so on. And there was a roadmap, what we were supposed to do to do all these things for ourselves, and to establish a technology development and manufacturing center. And as part of it, I started a project to build a foundry and machine tool center. We got land at Atomic Energy. And within 4 months, we have gone very far. Imported the first batch of equipment for the machine tooling. And I left 6 years ago. 6 years now, the equipment is lying down in the heat in Atomic Energy. The project has stalled.
This was under your tenure as minister?
Yes.
To build a foundry to machine tooling?
Machine tooling, so that we develop a capacity to build machine spare parts for ourselves. Now we can get things for agriculture, for industry, for education.
So as you speak, we don't have a center that manufactures any tools?
Nothing. Let me tell you.
So we import all of those?
Yes.
What stalled the project? Was it lack of funding?
I don't know. I left, and then that was the end of it. I'm told that yesterday or a few days ago, the new minister went there with a few people, but the way they are going about it.
Which minister? Minister for?
The environment. The one who is acting now, I don't know him.
That would be, I see, because they haven't appointed a substantive environment.
Maybe the acting one.
Wow.
Went there with some, but even from what I heard happen at the site, I think they need some tuition to get that thing done properly.
We're speaking to Professor Frimpong Boateng, who has a lot to share. He doesn't think Ghana is working with a development plan. He doesn't like assessing governments without a long-term plan. We are discussing many issues. We'll talk about Galamsey and how the fight is going. We'll also look at the party that he worked under in the past years. How are they faring? All this and more. Stay with us. Welcome back. My guest tonight is Professor Bernard Frimpong Boateng, who is a former Minister for Environment and, of course, the man who set up Ghana's Cardiothoracic Center, also ran Kolebu Teaching Hospital, celebrated global cardiothoracic surgeon with colors from Germany. In fact, he has something on his table. Can you show it to me? This is the German government recently gave him an award. What's the name of the award? What is this? I don't know what it means. Is it like the flag of the country? What is this?
This is the German flag, and then the German Adler, the eagle.
So is it like a state award or a state
award
recognition
yeah.
for the work you did in Germany or post your Germany surgery?
In Germany, and also trying to link some German institutions with Ghanaian institutions.
So you've been working on that since you left?
Seriously.
So Germany is the country where you get a lot of your how shall I say, your science training. You were trained in Germany?
Yeah, and I still do research with some institutions.
From Germany?
Now, yes.
Okay.
And this is something that nobody cares. Nobody asks me any question in this country. What is your opinion? What can we do here?
If the current government asks you to do some work for it, would you do it?
Now, of course I'll do it for Ghana. And I've been doing that all the time.
Do you still consider yourself a member of the NPP?
Where the present MPP is not MPP, it's fake.
What?
Yeah. What I see now, it is not the MPP I used to know.
But the question still stands. Do you still consider yourself a member of the MPP?
Not the fake one.
So which one is the real one?
The real one is there. It's a virtual thing, and the members are there in the background.
You think that... I don't understand.
But look at how they elected their last flag bearer. Twist the arms of weak and.
This is for the 2024 election.
Yes. Twist people's arms, bribing delegates, and intimidating others to get a flag bearer. This is the beginning of corruption, and this should not be allowed in any serious situation or any serious party. And there were issues. We lost the elections badly, and we did not deal with the issues that led to the losses. and then we still want to go in there, and I think it would be a train wreck if they elect the old flag bearer.
So your November article around how the NPP is proceeding suggests that you don't have confidence in the processes of electing a flag bearer?
No.
Really?
No.
Is your problem with the Dr. Bawumia or with the NPP?
No. Bawumia is a very nice person, but being nice alone is not enough to be to lead Nkrumah's Ghana.
But he's not just a nice person. He's worked at the African Development Bank. He's been vice president for 8 years. He's an economist. So he's a professional.
Yes, but you see, the thing is that why do you think that economists are the people who create jobs and who create wealth? They are not the ones. I told you, look at the Chinese situation. If we have a program and you don't get the scientists, researchers, investors, and so involved, it will not succeed. Long-term development depends. For example, if you set up a factory, you need to improve the product or introduce new ones. How do you do that? It's through research.
But a president doesn't work alone. The current president is a historian. The former president was a lawyer. Rawlings was a soldier. But they've all been presidents. So I'm not sure how he's been an economist is a problem. Because the idea is not...
It's a problem because you think you know and you don't know.
Economists think they know.
Yes.
Yet they don't know.
No.
But
Some of them.
But not all professionals don't know everything.
I know. But you see,
so isn't the key thing the question?
If you have a baggage, you have a baggage. You know. The Akufo-Addo and his family thing baggage is still there, and he himself has said that if the present president is a Northerner, if he's going away, it will be difficult for another Northerner to come, and so we should have voted for him. And he said it. Bawumia said that. So how do we then go into elections knowing very well that Ghanaians are not likely to vote for another Northerner if a Northerner is going out?
But we all don't know that.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying, that we should have dealt with these issues. You know, people said that it's a Muslim, is Ghana ready for? No, I'm not supporting these things, but we should deal with them, educate people.
But the best way to deal with this is to vote. So the people who choose the flag bearer, right?
No. You have to educate people and deal with the issues, disabuse people's mind, and then we can go on with somebody.
So you're saying that if he wins, so are you worried about the process that's selecting him?
The process,
or the fact that the country may not be ready for a person like him?
Both.
What do you think is the biggest reason why NPP lost so badly in the last election?
Oh, the arrogance, the corruption, economic decline, and the behavior of some members of government and the president's family. These were very serious issues.
So it's possible that people punished him and the party for what the government did.
Yes, and he was part of it. And so far, he has not distanced himself from some of these characters.
So he ought to do that.
He ought to do that.
So you think if he's to be, I don't want to use the word credible, but if he's to convince Ghanaians...
If he's his own person, he convince Ghanaians that he's his own person, he should distance himself from what happened in the past.
But so, why are you saying that? He won an election. We saw him.
Yeah, but of course we won the election. But you know everything that went about that, how delegates were influenced and so on in various ways. And don't think that Ghanaians don't know these things. And what has happened in between, so far we have not dealt with these issues. And what I'm saying is that we should have dealt with these issues before, you know.
So you obviously disagree from your article from the party's approach to choose a flag bearer first.
Yes, we should have waited, both the party up from the grassroots, choose the executive from the polling stations and regions and so on before. But now they want to choose a flag bearer, and the party executives are behind, are supporting him. The party headquarters is more or less an extension of his campaign office.
But the other candidates haven't said this. I haven't heard. Okay, maybe I haven't.
Because maybe they don't want to offend people. You keep quiet, but that's not why.
So you think the current party executives are working to get him to win?
Yes.
But you don't have any evidence of that.
Why What evidence do you want?
Active collusion, meetings, statements that confirm this.
Of course, there are statements.
From the current executive that they want him to win?
Yes. For example, when the other candidates...
I'm talking national executive now, not regional executive.
Yeah,
national
more
executive.
or less. They all just support him. This is what I think.
In the current 5, is there any of them who you think, if he won, can shift the party's chances in the 2028 election?
Well, I think any other person will have a better chance.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Any other than Bawumia?
Yes.
Because of his association with them. But they all have association with the previous government. One was an education minister, one was a minister of...
Yeah, but that's the thing. You see, in the first round, they all supported him. He took education minister and the others supported him. And now they've left him. Why? Why have they left him? Those who supported him, why have they left him? If he was that strong, why are they competing with him?
But you ran for president in NPP as well. The fact that you ran doesn't mean you did not support somebody you went against. It was all a question of throwing your hat in the ring, right?
Ghana would have been quite different if I became a president. You know it. Ghana would have been a different country.
You are sure of this?
Oh, sure.
I mean...
Let me tell you what this is something here down. What I expect of a president, What I expect of a president. I expect that a president will have a clear vision, and lead by example. Not corrupt, not greedy for money, wealth, or properties, no family, friends, or concubines government, no square pegs in round holes. You must have the will to make a difference and have sound moral values, be passionate about developing Ghana, resilient and adaptable, or having the courage to do what is right and not what is easy. And by that I mean, not just changing minds, but evolving and forming new opinions as better data become available. And the president must also empower institutions and monitor, and above all, sanction bad behavior. And these things are lacking.
But the current president seems to be doing better.
I like him.
Than the previous one.
Yeah,
at least for the first year.
I like him. Recently, we were at a function. The teachers had a function, and he was there.
Yes,
I was there.
Yes, the nuts.
The nuts.
I think some anniversary event.
Yeah,
where I think Kwame Pinnick was also there.
Yes, I was also there.
Last week.
At least I was looking for the presidential chair that travels with the president, and there was nothing like that there.
You're looking for the presidential chair?
That I thought president would sit on, but Mahama sat on the chair that we all sat on the same thing. And I think that was good.
So when you compare Mahama now to Akufo-Addo and to Mahama 1, the first Mahama in 2012.
I did not follow that regime that much.
Okay, compare Mahama to Mr. Mahama to the previous president.
No, it's very difficult to compare. I mean, they are all. I'm not saying Akufo-Addo is not a tyrant. It's not evil. I mean, he's a nice man, approachable, but he was unduly influenced by his family people, especially the one who called himself the prime minister.
Which one?
Well, if you don't know, I'm not here to mention names.
He was unduly influenced by his family
yes.
people. Was this during your first term? Was it during your time you were minister, or when you left government?
Well, when I was minister, I did not see that much. But after I've left, things deteriorated after I left the place.
Did you get to speak to him about this? Did you tell the president this?
What?
That he was being unduly influenced by his family members?
No, I mean, how can I've left his government?
No, when you were in government with him, did you complain about these things to him?
No, I didn't complain.
Did you have access to him as minister?
You see, the thing is, if you're a minister, the president cannot be your friend. He's your boss, and you relate to him on business-to-business basis.
But I'm able to tell my boss sometimes if things are going wrong. If my boss asks me, why are we not performing? I can say to him that the head of production is not performing. And that
my duty was...
So I'm saying it should be possible to tell your president if you work with him.
My duty was to introduce programs that I think will help Ghana. For example, this machine tool and foundry. This will give us the capacity to do things, manufacture things. And look, we build roads. We are building roads everywhere. And what do we carry on the roads? Is passengers, charcoal, sometimes we under the charcoal. And we don't see industrial goods. I mean, you should be seeing things, spare parts from here going to an assembly plant, things. But you don't see anything that is being transported on the roads. And we see are being roads all the time. For what? The roads
to
are
move
good.
food. Huh? To move food.
Who is planting the food?
In the hinterland, Techima, they plant plantain.
They go and see what is happening.
So for you, the economic development cannot happen without the tooling.
Yes, you need to create.
So you're talking about production capacity.
Production capacity.
Production capacity.
Whatever I want to produce. I mean, agriculture, for example, you need to till the land. You need machines to do that. The harrow, plow, and you need machine to.
And you're saying you have to manufacture it here.
Yeah, why not?
But can't you still be productive if you import it?
Yeah,
and
why
use
do
it
you
for
import
now?
it? Because there are people in Ghana who can do these things.
At a relative cheaper price?
Yes. I know one or two factories that are good in automation. They are specialized in PLC, programmable logic control. So we can automate everything that we want to do. Cassava, production, gari, or palm oil, all the things that we are doing, carrying foodstuff from one station to the other. There are people in Ghana, Ghanaian companies, if they got the help, could do it.
So if you meet the current president today, what would you advise him? What would be the most important thing you say to him to transform the country?
Well, I don't want to say anything now, but if he calls me, we'll sit down with him and talk.
But clearly to be in the science area, technology, science.
Anything that will give us the capacity to help ourselves. Do you understand? I mean, for example, we are building roads, drainage covers. These are all imported. How?
Drainage covers are all imported?
Yeah.
The metals that we use
Yes.
You're sure of this?
Of course. Who is producing them in Ghana?
People, welders can do them.
Welders.
Simple drainage covers. There's
simple.
Fabric Metal. There's a big steel company in Tema called B5 Plus.
They are producing iron rods and things like that. But for these covers, you need a foundry,
Are you saying we don't have any foundry in Ghana?
And listen, Bernard, we are not using the university. Look at it, even the technical universities that we have. Some of them are in certain special areas. Sunyani Technical University, they are into mechatronics. And when I was minister, I went there and I said that, I met the people and said, look, within 2 years, Ghana should be able to bring a prototype of an electric vehicle. And I knew what I was.
What year was this?
Oh, that was the first time, maybe 2 years before I left.
You thought within 2 years we could have come up
we
with a prototype of an EV?
Because looking at what they do, I mean, Takoradi Technical University are into oil and gas. Accra Technical University, Kumasi, Sunyani, and
so they have different specializations.
Different specializations, but nobody knows what they are doing, and what plans do you have for these students when they complete? So there must be a plan. If we say oil and gas in a university, then we know that after the studies, you have a plan to move there. That's what the Chinese did. You go to George Grant University in Takwa. Then I met people, some of the professors who are into production of processing of iron ore. We have iron ore deposit. They have found a new method of producing iron from the oil.
And it's not being commercialized.
It's not being commercialized. We need to shepherd these things from research into commercialization. This is what I'm talking about. There are so many things going around. And even as minister, we went to tech, chemical engineering. And at that time, KK Sapon was DNPC something, and we helped a group of students to produce hydraulic oil from castor oil plant. See, there are so many things that we can do for ourselves, but we need to help these people, shepherd the people, so that the universities will become sites for incubation of companies. This is the thing. This is what I'm trying to say. If we have this, if keep people busy, research and things busy. It's not we are going to give $3 billion cedis to $3 billion to prop up the whatever.
Big push.
No, not big push. CD to push to to
stop the depreciation.
But
that's also a problem.
Yeah, but then at the same time, if we are not able to produce anything, then it will be a perpetual thing. You put in money all the time to do that.
We'll take a break. This is the point of view. My guest, Professor Frimpong Boateng, has a lot to say about development. He thinks if we want to develop, we must learn how to make things. We'll deal with some other points when we come back. Stay with us. We're speaking to Professor Bernard Frimpong Boateng, celebrated cardiothoracic surgeon, politician before. We're not even sure if he's a politician anymore. You're no longer a politician.
We are all politicians. I mean, everybody's a politician. But
well, at least you ran for president. At least you did.
Not because I wanted to be president. People run.
I know you had ideas you wanted to implement.
We're in a different country by now.
Really?
And look at South Korea. When we started CSIR, they were like us. They were importing textiles, plywood, and wigs. The three main exports, 1960s. Then they went into one product alone, LCD. Has changed them. And we are here. Look, when Nkrumah started the shoe factory in 1960-61, he was ahead of Nike. Nike started producing shoes in 1964. Can you imagine how far we've left things? Ghana Atomic Energy Commission. Nkrumah imported a 2 megawatt reactor from Russia to power the research plant. It didn't come. But the North Koreans used the same technology. They had the same technology. Look at what you've done with us. And we off. The British built for us location, a machine tool center and second D to service the railway system. It was the same technology that they had at that time, and the British improved theirs and used that same technology to produce fighter planes for the Second World War. And we have sat down, everything is gone. I mean, this is a country of missed opportunities. And we are not doing well. I mean, this vision, this is what President Rawlings said. Vision 2020, which was presented to Parliament by President Rawlings. Firstly, the only means by which the country's resources can be used effectively to achieve rapid economic growth while maintaining the integrity of the environment hinges on the integration of science, technology in all programs. This is what President Rawlings said. And this is no different from what Nkrumah said.
So you seem to like the two of them a lot, Nkrumah and Rawlings.
No, of course, not like them, but they had. Nkrumah had good programs. Look,
don't forget that both men had the longest time of all our presidents.
No, it was Rawlings who had the longest time.
Yes, I'm saying both. If you compare everybody, Nkrumah, if you look at when he became prime minister.
But Nkrumah, in the short time, was able to do a lot. Rawlings was not like Nkrumah. He was a young man. He loved Ghana. He wanted to improve things, but he lacked the education, the experience, and the knowledge. And he relied on people who preferred to chase their perceived or real enemies. They let Rawlings down.
How do you think the Galamsey fight is going? You wrote about this in 2021 when...
I don't want to talk about Galamsey because, you see, the NPP loved it. No, the NDC loved it. And they went, NPP came and they loved it. NDC has come and they love it. So, and the two NDC and NPP, they are from the same parents as far as Galamsey is concerned. So...
They have the same parent?
Yes.
When it comes to Galamsey. So you don't see any difference between how NDC is dealing with it from how NPP
No.
At all?
No. In some areas, it's been getting worse. The impunity is still there. My brother, the lance minister, go to his district.
Kofi
Boa. I have relatives there.
Elembele.
I have relatives there.
And what are they telling you?
Terrible. One of the worst areas in Ghana. What did you ask them?
Wow.
I'm saying this because I have relatives there.
But the noise about Galamsey has reduced.
Yes, because the NPP has no moral courage to criticize anything. They did worse things. And the NDC too will not criticize themselves. We were criticizing our party and our people for doing the wrong thing. But the NDC will not do that. They will keep quiet and enjoy it. Some people maybe depend upon Galamsey to provide their war chest in some maybe ministers, MPs. So they are quiet. They are just getting money for the next elections. And if you are enjoying it, why should they fight it?
The economy has been stabilized. Some people think that some of that has had to do with gold, because the exports of gold have gone up. The setting up of the gold board has increased the harvesting of gold proceeds. Some of that money has been used to support the Ghana cedi. Yeah. I don't know what you make of that whole... Yeah,
it appears good, but not for exporters, you know. Exporters and also for the environment. I mean, you cannot... let me say one thing. It is good that Ghana is taking steps to take charge of the gold industry. That is good. But it should not be done at the expense of the environment. And the gold board is getting its gold from small-scale miners and so on, not from the large-scale miners. And a lot of the small-scale miners are Galamsey operators. So that's where we have to be very careful that we do not...
They say they have a tracing system that they can use to clamp down on illegally acquired gold.
This is intellectual exercise.
So what's the best way to clamp down on Galamsey?
I'm not going to say it. I'm only saying it when people are serious. Now I don't see any...
Okay, I'm serious.
No, you are, but
those who when you tell me, I will say it on air every day for 1 week.
No. I mean, I don't want to...
No, but what do you have to lose? Is it a statistic?
No.
Or is it like when you say the Galamseyers will change their approach or something?
No. For example, let's say the lance minister or somebody else, we can sit down quietly and then think about it.
So you believe you have the blueprint for them?
I'm not saying I'm the only person.
I'm trying to understand you. You're saying that if you meet somebody like the minister,
we'll share ideas.
You can give him your candid views on how to solve Galamsey.
We'll share ideas. For example, when I was in charge of the fight, people were afraid even to go on the water bodies because we had the equipment to carry everything away, the floaters and the machines. Now what they do is, the floating things are there, they go and bend the chamfans on the thing, but we'll carry everything away. And we had 2 depots. One depot was in Kumasi and one in Takoradi. The idea was that we were going to pack this metal, send them to at the top where the foundry was going to take place, and use the metal to create things, including some of these things that I'm talking about, in the foundry. And when I left, the people went and dismantled the depot that we had in Takoradi and Kumasi, and they carried their things away. Do you understand? And we also had boats that were able to carry these things away from. And I mentioned this to NPP when I left. They did not follow up. And I mentioned it to friends in the NDC, some of them. So, as I said, it is good that the NDC is taking steps for us to be in charge of the gold trade. That is very important. But it should not be done at the expense of the environment. But anybody who wants to chat with me, we can meet and then we chat about the country, how we can make this country a better place.
I like your passion for the nation. It is to be admired. Thank you. We're speaking to Professor Bernard Frimpong Boateng, a man who's dedicated his life to, obviously, public service in many ways. He's been talking to us about the state of the nation, passionate about transformation. Ghana must learn to make its own things if we are to economically develop. Thanks for watching tonight's edition of The Point of View. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.